He shouldn't have shot them because they believe he's an active shooter that they can kill.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Okay. That, like, spin that logic around in your head for 5 seconds. Like, if these people think I'm an active shooter that they can murder, I'm more likely to shoot them.
I'm obligated to die now.
Yeah, what's the logic here?
They're all stupid. They're all idiots. They're all acting irrationally. I'm now obligated to die.
I would say so. Now here, this crowd didn't take lethal action against him.
They tried, you stupid motherfucker.
Of course they did.
You stupid motherfucker. They tried. What do you think? Why do you think Gage Grosskreutz pointed his gun at Kyle's head?
And in my mind, if someone in that crowd had a gun and had killed, shot and killed Kyle Rittenhouse, our office would not have prosecuted.
Oh, and that is why you're so
freaking corrupt. He even said to Gage, on Gage's, I'm running to the police. Yeah, that's what tells you that he is a corrupt, illegal, this guy needs to be disbarred right now.
Oh my God.
That's an admission. I need to be disbarred right now because I'm a political hack.
How can you call yourself a progressive with the history of mob justice?
Yes.
And be taking this stance? This is so insane. This is so insidious, man.
I don't necessarily believe that he was going to go and mow down 25 people or anything like that. But what I was trying to say is that after learning that he just shot someone, seeing him running through a crowded area with a gun, that it would have been reasonable for the for the crowd to view him as an active shooter. And under those circumstances, we have in Wisconsin, we now have the ability for individuals to apply for a permit to carry a concealed weapon. I have one of those permits myself. I'm a gun owner, and we are allowed to carry concealed weapons in public. And one of the rationales behind that is if there's an active shooter, if I go to the grocery store and somebody pulls out a gun and starts mowing people down, well, then I've got my gun and I can try and stop them. And I'm using I generally there. I don't have any intent of doing that myself, but a lot of people out there think that that's what they would do in that circumstance. And the larger question that I have is, when the police arrive and they see...
I do like, he was criticizing Kyle for being a vigilante all throughout the case and earlier in this interview. And yet it sounds like he's implying that, well, I mean, you should have your concealed weapon so that you can just shoot at a fleeing person if you think that they can.
Okay, so here's the thing. Here's the thing, which is very disingenuous about what he's portraying here. And if he wasn't talking to an attorney, I would excuse the guy for not calling him on it. But instead, I'm just going to blame him for being a wacko leftist who either is ignorant about basic gun rights or mindset of self-defense. The mindset of the crowd has zero impact.
I know, fucking irrelevant
on his right to defend himself. Just because the crowd is confused and now believes that they're justified, even if they're reasonably under that belief, seeing as how he is not in the wrong at this point in time, he still retains his right to self-defense.
Totally.
So his whole point is, I'm trying to just, I want the jury to understand that the crowd is justified in chasing after them because they rightly or wrongly believe that he's an active shooter. What they believe, even if they did believe that, which he never took any steps trying to prove that, but even if they did believe that, that does not deprive Kyle of his right to self-defense.
Totally.
He still has the right to shoot Huber when Huber's trying to grab his gun for him. He still has the right to shoot Gage when Gage turns a gun at his head. So all of this thing that he's, his objective of the trial to try and convince the jury that the crowd is confused into believing he's an active shooter. Why are you bothering with that when that has no legal impact on Kyle's right to self-defense, and accordingly every step Kyle took was still legally justified? It's almost like he's telling this attorney here, I was trying to invest a lot of effort into something that would not legally help get a conviction.
Yeah, I kept wondering about that. I kept wondering about that. It makes no sense at all. Yeah, why? It seems completely irrelevant because they're all wrong. Well, it doesn't make any difference.
I mean, I think what Binger's trying to say is that Huber engages the reason that Kyle should not have shot them is because Huber and Gage thought they were acting justly, which I think is a dumb argument, but it sounds like that's the argument he's trying to make.
That is the argument he's trying to make, but under the law, he still retains his right to self-defense because they're wrong.
He
because
shouldn't.
they're wrong.
He shouldn't have shot them because they believe he's an active shooter that they can kill.
Yeah.
What the
exactly.
fuck?
Okay.
That, like, spin that logic around in your head for 5 seconds. Like, if these people think I'm an active shooter that they can murder, I'm more likely to shoot them.
I'm obligated to die now.
Yeah, what's the fucking logic here?
They're all stupid. They're all idiots. They're all acting irrationally. I'm now obligated to die.
Yeah, no, ridiculous, wrong. Yeah, fucking wake up, you stupid idiot. Give him Darwin Awards.
I thought we were saying vigilante justice was bad, Binger.
I know.
That's like 10 minutes ago, right?
That's the thing. That's the thing. It's this case is so bizarre because it really is just the political lens turns you into a moron.
Well, I'm so glad you brought up the talking point about hypocrisy, because so much of this conversation is just these people not understanding that what they're saying applies to the opposite side.
Yes, they can't even see that. They're so drowning in their own bias that they can't even apply that simple logic to the people on their own team. Fucking crazy.
See two people who are both shooting at one another. How are they supposed to know? How are they supposed to know who's right and who's wrong? How are they supposed to know that one person's got the right to say?
Well, you know, because you ask them, you say, did you vote for Biden or Trump in the last election? And then you know who's right and who's wrong, right?
Well, I don't even know why he's bringing this up, because he's saying, how are the police supposed to know if two people are shooting each other? It's like, wait a minute. You were just defending earlier Huber and Gage's attempts to stop him. Now you're saying they shouldn't have stopped him? Like, I don't understand what his point is here.
What's happening?
Self-defense and the other one doesn't. And getting it back to this case here, you know, Rittenhouse wants us to believe that he had to defend himself against Joseph Rosenbaum. Well, that's in its own little category, and that's an event that's happened, and we don't have a judge and jury there to make that decision at that particular moment in time. All they know, all the crowd knows, is he just shot someone, and now he's running with his gun.
Which they don't know that. And they don't know that. No one knows that. Very few people who were chasing him actually knew that he killed Rosenbaum. They just heard other people screaming about that.
Yeah.
But go for it. Go on.
They don't have any information. They're running like maniacs with no information.
Reasonable for them to assume at that point that this is someone who may be running to his next victim. We simply don't know. And in my mind, if someone in that crowd had a gun and had shot and killed Kyle Rittenhouse, our office would not have prosecuted.
Oh,
and that
my
is why you're so
God.
freaking corrupt. He even said to Gage on Gage's camera, I am running to the police. Yeah, that's what tells you that he is a corrupt, illegal, this guy needs to be disbarred right now.
Oh my God.
That's an admission. I need to be disbarred right now because I'm a political hack, because he's running toward the police. The police sirens, the lights are 2 blocks away. He told Gage Grosskreutz, I am going to the police. And even if Gage Grosskreutz, who said on the stand, I didn't hear him say that. I thought he said, I'm with the police. So if you think he's with the police, why are you trying to kill him? Why? Because he's with the police? What does that even mean? Like, that makes, I didn't hear him say he's going to the police. I heard him say he's with the police. Okay. So now you shot him. You're trying to shoot him because what? Like, the whole thing. And he's saying, I would have thought they were justified. That means that he is basically, that's an admission. He's applying justice with a double standard there, where it's different for people on one side than the other. And that is the most corrupt thing imaginable.
Dude,
I mean, isn't this not insane?
That's fucking insane. So if Gage Grosskreutz shoots first, blows away Kyle Rittenhouse, Binger is just like, good boy.
Yeah, he's not saying I think he'd be innocent. He's saying I would not have pressed charges.
That's
against
crazy.
him.
Yeah. Because vigilante justice is totally wrong unless
I know. No shit. No shit. How does that not encourage vigilante justice that he's trying to discourage so much? He's basically saying, vigilante justice on the right, we don't like that so much, but vigilante justice on the left, please give me a second helping.
I can't believe Binger. I mean, his logic here is so deranged. Just because a mob of people thinks you committed a crime, it's justified for them to kill you.
I know.
What all the times that they would lynch people back in the day in the streets, they all thought they committed some crime. Okay, they all thought they were justified in doing what they were doing.
Right, and you had prosecutors like Binger who didn't fucking
Yes.
who didn't prosecute those people for doing that.
Yes.
They're like, the mob had to be right, obviously. They were pissed. They thought he was an active shooter.
I mean, when a mob, look, if all these people are chasing you probably did something wrong, right?
This is bizarro world. I can't believe he made that admission.
I know.
I can't believe he said that. I'm in shock. I have to back it up. I have to hear it again.
Our office literally don't know. He just shot someone, and now he's running with his gun. And it's reasonable for them to assume at that point that this is someone who may be running to his next victim. We simply don't know. And in my mind, if someone in that crowd had a gun and had shot and killed Kyle Rittenhouse, our office would not have prosecuted. Our office would have not found that person criminally liable. Now, would there have been civil liability? I'm not an expert. I don't know.
This is so fucking crazy. So I think in his mind, he does think Kyle Rittenhouse went there to kill people. So it's easy for him to say Kyle Rittenhouse might have been actually going to his next victim.
But even if that was like, okay, in a hypothetical situation, say Kyle Rittenhouse went there because he pre-planned to kill Rosenbaum or whatever, like he knew him.
Or just any protesters.
Or anyone, right?
That's the narrative,
there,
yeah.
Right. Even if that was the case, no one would have known that. None of the people in the crowd would have known that. And if the facts are all the same, Kyle's still running away from people, running towards the police, how the fuck is anyone justified?
Yeah.
At all. And I
This
just,
is
to me,
crazy.
it's totally Binger, like saying that under the same fact set that we have now, that he wouldn't have prosecuted someone for shooting Kyle, who's running towards the police, not shooting anyone. Like, this is insane.
It is totally insane.
But would I say that that's justified self-defense for someone in that crowd to stop an active shooter? Yes.
Motherfucker.
Look, shooting.
Hold on. To stop an active shooter, he's not a fucking active shooter.
And he
This
just admitted he's not an active
moron.
shooter. He said, I'm not saying he's an active shooter. He's not an active shooter, but they would have thought he's an active shooter. Since they thought he's an active shooter, that's okay for them to go kill him.
This
Even
is
though they're wrong.
so
Right?
wrong.
Yeah, right.
This is so wrong. This is so unethical.
And it's weird too, because how Binger's giving all this weight to this amorphous crowd's feeling
I know.
of thinking they were that they were in harm's way, and yet he gives no credence to Kyle, who's being chased down by people, of thinking that he's in harm's way.
Yeah.
And it's just, to me, if you have someone running away versus chasing, the person running away obviously is the one who's in fear for their life. Okay.
Yes.
Just definitionally.
This is so bizarre. I can't believe he'd say this.
I would say so. Now here, this crowd didn't take lethal action against him.
They tried,
course
you
they did.
stupid motherfucker.
Of course they did.
You stupid motherfucker. They tried. What do you think? Why do you think Gage Grosskreutz pointed his gun at Kyle's head?
You know what
Why
the
do you think
difference
he
is?
faked him out?
You know what the difference is between attempted murder and murder when they charge someone? Nothing. It's the exact same thing. It's literally the exact same thing.
This is so fucking crazy. This is so crazy.
They actually used what I would characterize as probably the least intrusive means possible. I mean,
They hit him in the back of the head with a fucking rock, knocked him to the ground, kicked him in the face. What the fuck is he talking about?
That's pretty not intrusive. I don't know about you, but
what is he talking about?
That's like a friendly visit with my friends. We just hit each other in the back of the head with rocks and kick each other in the face.
Sitch, what is happening here? What is happening here? Not only that,
Insane.
they had the numbers on their side, you fucking moron. There's 20 of them in the streets
crazy.
chasing after you.
It's crazy. This is what I was saying, that the left wants to incite divisiveness, and they want to justify that if you're on the left, you can. If you're on team left, you can do whatever the flip you want.
This
we will
is
prosecute
insane.
you. We'll let you run out and kill anyone who defends himself. Go ahead, have at it. We will never prosecute you.
This is
the same
insane.
With Binger, do you think it's a conscious effort, or is it he just? Because to me, I think he's just so delusional. in his
NPC
case
all
at
the
the
way.
moment.
Fucking
I don't-
NPC. Like his brain.
Or do you think this
shut
is a
off.
conscious attempt on his part?
What, to influence the public? I don't know if he's
Yeah.
trying to influence the public, because the public's already been so influenced. Look at San Francisco's laws with respect to shoplifters. Look at Kamala with her turnstile justice, where anyone who's a looter or a rioter, let's set them free the next day, and starting funds to have their bail released. I mean, he's part of that whole system. I don't know that he's individually trying to do that here when he's in an interview that he mistakenly believes is going to be heard by 6 people and all of them his friends. But
if I'm Kyle Rittenhouse and I'm hearing this, my blood is fucking boiling. This is so incendiary. Like, literally, if Gage Groskers would have blown my fucking head off, this asshole would have patted him on the back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's to me, it's just so baffling that a state prosecutor who's supposed to be against mob justice, who's supposed to be part of this system to, get rid of all that, is saying, listen, if a crowd of people thinks you did something wrong, even if you're running towards the police and a rational person, and you're not shooting your gun, you're not pointing your gun at anyone, just because the mob thinks that, I think that they should be justified in killing you on the spot.
Yeah, no, how can you call yourself a progressive with the history of fucking mob justice?
Yes.
And be taking this stance? This is so insane. This is so insidious, man.
That's because the whole progressivism, it's not about values. It's got nothing to do with a certain political idea. It's a matter of us versus them. That's all it is. It's not a matter of we believe in this. We don't believe in this. We believe in us versus anyone who disagrees with us. That's all it is.
I think that's true of
I do think there are different values, though. There's a distinction that's important to make. I think that progressives have different values than conservatives or libertarians, but there are people that are just tribalists that don't necessarily subscribe to the values of the ideology. They're just basically in it for team players.
I don't think it's an either or situation. I think it's that the people have these values and that ascribes what team they're on. And then once they're on the team, it's just the us.
The values go out the window.
Then the values go out the window, and it becomes the us versus them dynamic.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
And that's exactly my point. That you can sort of lay out these rules as to what's good and what's evil, but when you abandon that and flip it on its head, depending on who the victim is and who the aggressor is, that means you have zero values.
I agree.
It's always been about us versus them.
Well, that's a great point, and it kind of this is why it's the division, especially the media stoking the division in this country, is so disgusting and dangerous. Is because it's like, back in the day, thousands of years ago, or not even thousands of years ago, but back in the day, when you have the kingdoms going at war with each other, and the army comes in and they feel totally fine, raping, looting, burning the kingdom down, all this other stuff, just because they view these people as like outsiders, as not part of their troop, as the enemy. And basically that mentality of just saying like, oh, I can do whatever I want to these people because they're the enemy, is now being cultivated in our country between ourselves, between Americans.
It's on display here with Binger.
With Binger, based on your political lines. Say, this is the enemy. You can, burn them down. You can rape, riot, loot, do whatever you want to them because they're the enemy.
Yeah, it's disgusting, man. Yeah, you got to fight against this. These are the bad old ways.
Yeah, if I looked like this dude, I'd shave my head bald.
Very. What are you trying to say?
What are you trying to say?
What are you trying to say, Joe?
No, I'm just throwing it out there. I would never want to have any association with this. I'm just throwing out a thought.
Saying Adam should shave his head? Is that what's happening?
I'm not. Look, I'm not trying to influence anyone's decision making about their own personal. I'm just.
No, I'm the
just
good twin. I'm the good twin. Come on, know how there's the evil twin and the good twin. This is like an episode of Star Trek here.
Yeah, he's the evil mirror Adam twin.
Oh God! Not only that, he's a complete. This is NPC levels of not understanding. I mean, or he's just gaslighting us beyond belief. But it's hard for me to imagine. Hi, you just listened to a clip from the Sitch and Adams show. If you like what you heard, you can listen to our live show right here on this channel on Sunday, starting at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. And if you want, you can super chat us. We read $20 and up super chats on the show and then do a follow-up stream on the following Tuesday where we read the rest of the unread super chats and interact with fans of the show. Subscribe to this channel right here to listen to the live show or to listen to more of our awesome clips.